Hi, in this video I'm going to share with you what an OverSoul activation is, why it's an integral part of the process of you birthing your very unique spiritual gifts, how an activation occurs, and how you can really support yourself in the integration of an activation, because that's the real key. It's a grounding in of this activation, of this OverSoul activation. My name's Chloe Cousins and I'm an Ascension facilitator. I'm a grid worker and I'm the founder of the Earth Star Temple, which is a sacred container for anyone who is very much wishing to accelerate their ascension process. So let's dive straight in. Let's start with, what is your OverSoul? So to understand your OverSoul, you need to understand what your soul is first of all. So your soul is something that is consistently evolving. We talk about soul evolution. So your soul is not like your perfected state. And I feel that's where a lot of people, sometimes in the way they view their soul, can be a bit like, not, I don't want to say incorrect, but that the way of viewing it is not the totality of what is actually involved with your soul, because your soul grows. Well, if your soul is growing, that means that naturally, logically, rationally, your soul is therefore not your evolved, your fully evolved aspect. It's not your spirit. It's different. It's not a fractal. Your soul is not a fractal of your divinity, right? And so when we're talking about, people talk about soul's purpose, well, really, I prefer to frame it more as your OverSoul purpose, because your soul is always evolving, right? And your soul is intricately linked to your emotions, to your vibrational plane. So what do I mean by that? Your soul, the evolution of your soul, is really an evolution of your emotions, of your emotional state. So when your soul evolves, you're moving from lower emotional states like anger and fear and jealousy into higher emotional states like love and peace and bliss and joy. And that is the evolution of your soul. So your soul's purpose is really the evolution of your emotional state. This is the first thing to understand, and it's really important to understand when it comes to the birthing of your spiritual gifts, because you, as a soul, you have had most likely many different lifetimes. And for anyone watching this video, anyone that are in my community, you will have had a lot of past life gifts, times where you will have mastered certain abilities, like certain psychic abilities. Maybe in a past life you really mastered as a clairvoyant, or as an oracle, or as an empath, or you may have mastered your voice more and been able to express yourself beautifully and with precision and with clarity. Maybe in a past life you were able to, you were a writer and you were able to formulate ideas, channel through ideas and write them down. Maybe for a lot of us, you would have had lifetimes in Atlantis and Lemuria, where you would formulated very, very unique gifts that probably no one else has right now on the planet. Or even you would be more connected to your starseed lineage, your cosmic lineage, where you've got off-planet gifts that you have mastered And all of those past life gifts that you've mastered are held within what we call your OverSoul chakra. Now, your OverSoul chakra is located about 6 inches above your crown, and it's not a chakra that you can directly activate, okay? It's that activation is delegated via the universe and your higher self. Your ego self, your personality self cannot directly activate it, but you can absolutely support it in it to open more up. And when it does get activated, which I'll speak about in a moment, when it does get activated, there are absolutely things you can do to support yourself to then integrate it, because there's one thing it becoming activated, there's an absolutely different thing for you to fully integrate those gifts. So your OverSoul contains those higher spiritual gifts, those spiritual gifts that are unique to you. And right now on the planet, there's a lot of astrological influences that are happening right now that is really supporting the OverSoul to become more activated right now. It's part of the energy signature of where we're at. And I believe that's happening because this new era is birthing right now. And these past life gifts that you hold within you, it's important that they get activated right now because of the mass awakening that's happening on the planet. And these gifts are going to be part of how New Earth gets birthed, right? And it's going to be your service work. It is your service work. And so a lot of people are going to be experiencing, as certain parts of the population will be having that spiritual awakening, like at a beginner state, there's also a part of the population that having those higher spiritual activations, which the OverSoul activation is one of them, right? So this is something that I've recently experienced, so I want to share a little bit of what happened for me and what that integration looks like. So I do believe you don't necessarily have to be conscious of this activation. I feel I was conscious of the activation, so I can speak to it and I can support others in it, if you see what I mean, right? So what happened was I was woken up literally in the middle of the night. You know, this is often what happens, right? And as I got woken up, I tuned in and just asked, okay, what is going on? And straight away, I was told, this is a soul merge. This is a soul braiding experience. And I was going, okay. Not really quite sure what that was. I knew all about the OverSoul chakra, but a bit sketchy in my knowledge around a soul merge and a soul braiding. Well, really what the soul merging is and the soul braiding is when your OverSoul chakra has been activated, and that is when those energies are coming through into your body. So how I experienced it was like it was coming from within my energetic system, right? So I could feel within me, within my energetic system, as if I don't know for the rest of the world, but in England we used to have these adverts, Ready Brek adverts, right? And the Ready Brek adverts were like this glow, you'd eat the Ready Brek and then you'd have this incredible glow around you. Right? And this is almost how I felt, but the glow was coming from within me and then expanding out. And this is why I was asking for guidance in the moment, because I was like, well, this is a bit weird. This is not like what I'm used to when there's a download coming through me. This is like something that's been activated within me. And that's the key difference, right? And so what I was told was that this soul merging really is like a an aspect of my oversoul, an aspect of my past life, but it could also be future life as well, right? It could be on this planet, it could also be off this planet, and a lifetime off this planet. An aspect of this oversoul was was being activated within my energetic system, and I was experiencing the amplification of that energy within my system. So then I was told this integration process will take about 4 months. And what I've understood through that is that now what's happening is that in this integration process, anything that's not in alignment with this aspect coming through right now, that's really coming through and being activated, coming through into my consciousness, right, into my waking consciousness, so that I can work with it and utilize it to be of service and to, bring it in with the other gifts that I already have activated within me. And so it's activating for that. And now it's about me integrating that within my waking consciousness through what I'm being guided to do every day intuitively, right? Now that could be different things I get to do. I may, often sometimes when I've experienced that before, it's almost like it's a change of clothes. Suddenly you want to change all your clothes. You start to do something a bit different. There's all different ways that this energy gets integrated into your system. You may suddenly feel like you want to pick up pen and paper and start writing or drawing, or you feel drawn to going out and start singing or putting out something new out into the world. Who knows? There's so many different myriad ways that it gets expressed. But first of all, there is this oversoul activation that occurs. And then and this is where the free will comes in, is that then you have to, it's really important that you follow through daily with what your intuitive hits are telling you, even if it's like almost diametrically opposed to what you would normally do, or if you feel it's pushing you out of your comfort zone. You get that hit, oh, you know what, actually I just feel guided to do this, even though actually it normally I wouldn't do that, or it makes me feel uncomfortable because it's taken me out of a comfort zone. But I don't know, there's something about me just wants to do it. That sort of thing that's coming through. And so what my suggestion to you, if you feel that this process is activating within you, and remember that I do feel that this is going to be happening to a lot of people right now, because of all the astrological energies that we've got with the nodes of fate, Pisces, that have just come in now, which is on the Pisces Virgo axis, as well as a lot of Piscean energy in general, and also Neptune energy. This is the time. This is just going to be so much more expansion that's going to come in. But we still have to ride with it. We still need to move forward with that. Otherwise, it doesn't go anywhere. And that would be such a waste. And it will make you feel eventually like quite, how could I express that? Like, not overwhelmed, but like you're going to start feeling quite stuck. Right? Because you're not actually moving forward and stepping out of your comfort zone and doing what your intuition is telling you. Like your logical self is kind of overriding your intuition. So this, to me, is really important work for each one of us to do. So if you do feel that this is happening for you, you just kind of just get a sense, you'll resonate with what I'm saying. It kind of just makes sense, and you go, yeah, I believe that this is what's happening to me. Then my suggestion to you would be to every single morning, just tune in and ask this aspect of yourself that's coming in, that's merging within you. You know, how does it want to be expressed? What are you being guided to do? And remember, it could be quite different than what you're used to. You know, people are known when this comes through to actually even change their name, like change their whole way they look, change their job. You know, they can have some quite dramatic changes. You know, one minute they're a truck driver, the next minute they're this 5D, 7D artist. Do you know what I mean? It can be quite radical, quite different, or not, you know. But it's just be acknowledging that process within you and giving that space, you know, nurturing that within you, honoring it, seeing it for what's going on, and just very beautifully and gently going with the flow with that and giving it priority daily. Really, really important. Now, in part of that integration process, you will go through what I call, and this is the work that I do with my Temple Activate members, is the decode, recode, realign process. It's like it's a formula that I talk about because you're never ever going to create those really deep transformational processes unless you really work in this decode, recode, realign way. Now, what often happens to us is that it often takes a crisis to get us to do that. And we don't want to do that. We want to consciously co-create. We want to consciously move forward with the energies in beautiful flow and grace, ease and joy, and doing it in this consciously decoding, recoding, realigning is what will support you to do that. So this is what I highly suggest you do, is you actively work with that decoding process, the recoding process, and the realignment process. Now, if you want to understand more about that and you want to understand more on how I can support you through this whole process of this OverSoul activation and you birthing your spiritual gifts, I'll put the link down below for Temple Activate. Now, there's going to be, so that's a whole process that I talk about and take you through, but what I do want to say that I actually have within Temple Activate, which is a 1-year program, you can join at any time. And I work a lot with the grid. Within that, we go to every month take you to different sacred sites where there are specific mystery school teaching, sacred codes that we access and then work with integrating within that, as well as working with opening up more of your intuition, your psyche. It's really a way to really support your ascension journey, your unique ascension process, and supporting you to birth your spiritual gifts, right? And support the birthing and the rising of new earth. So inside Temple Activate, not only have I got, about 70 odd activations for you to listen whenever you need them on all different areas, as well as all different workshops. But one of the workshops is my White Snake Medicine workshop. And in that workshop, I go into much more detail into all about your OverSoul chakra, and in fact the 5 higher chakras. So your OverSoul chakra belongs to one of the 5 main higher chakras, and it's these higher chakras that are coming more into play as we go forward, right? And you're going to be needing these 5 higher chakras. Sorry, I'll say that again. They are going to be on fire, literally, but these 5 higher chakras to be more on board, getting more activated, because this is how your gifts are going to manifest through you more, and then you're going to be able to use them to be more of service and create more impact in whatever way you feel drawn to do. Okay, so much love. Goodbye.